Thanks for staying with us. So another story really broke our hearts. Very, very painful story of a Nigerian lady who was arrested for brutalizing her house help in Akure. This woman stabbed this child. We don't even know what she used to stab her, but the boy had cuts all over him. Another story we took in the papers for somebody, and the reason why she stabbed him was because he stole meat from her pot. Another one, the lady allegedly stabbed, that's the same one that stabbed the husband. It's actually her husband's nephew. Anyway, there was another story about the one you took in the papers.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember the story.
Yes,
so
she stabbed her 80-year-old nephew, her husband's nephew, to death because he broke a mirror that they used in the house.
Right, so this one was
her own case.
So this one was the maid.
Yes.
The other one is a maid. Now, the reason why I'm highlighting this story, because we said it earlier that the police are just a reflection of who we are. We are them, they are us. Okay? Whatever you are accusing the police of is exactly what we human beings do to our people. So this woman here stabbed her house help. I saw the video. We can't show it on TV. It is heartbreaking. There's no human being that will see that video and not break down. This little child was cut up, all his hands, his body, and his legs.
Why?
He stole meat.
Because
many of us have house helps.
We
took meat. Slap. Anyhow. All of us, we do it. Cruel-minded human beings. Who says because of poverty? Who says because of economic hardship? Who says because of Buhari? Who says because of Nigeria? What exactly is our problem? That is really the crux of our conversation. What exactly is our problem, BC?
A lot of us are mad, though. We're just wearing clothes. That's just the conclusion I came to. We are all mad people. Some people are still managing to wear clothes. But how do we find solution in the midst of the madness? How do you allow anger? Because it comes from a place of anger. When that anger is brewing and you haven't mastered the act of managing your anger and controlling your impulses when you're angry, and you feel like somebody is beneath you, I can do and undo with this person, because no matter how upset that woman gets at her boss, if she's working, she will never raise a finger. She will never raise a hand against her boss. She will not raise a hand against her pastor. She will not raise a hand against somebody in a place of authority who she thinks is better than her. So she carries that frustration of her life and puts it on any other person who she feels she's better than or she's bigger than. The child is not your problem. You are complaining that a child of 10 stole meat from the pot. I'm sure if you quiz that child, you will see that a few days will go and that child will not eat. Have you taken care of that child properly for you to give that sort of treatment? How dare you give that sort of treatment to another human being that you're supposed to be nurturing? You can see that everybody's mad. Everybody's mad. And the truth is, till we start dealing with these people who cannot control their madness. So because everybody is mad does not mean that everybody cannot control their madness. Some people have a way of putting it under reins. But for those who don't, till we start to give them back to back, these sort of things will not stop. I would like to see this lady, you know, repent and be punished for this act that she has carried out. Imagine if that house help, and what are you even doing with a 10-year-old house help?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the main question.
So
yes,
it still ties to value of human life. It still ties to the fact that you respect the human being that is here. It still ties to the fact that we display our inability to control ourselves in different ways. So everybody has grace. That's the fact.
Everybody's mad.
We all have ability to disobey. We just need the rule of law to keep us in check. That's why we are civilized people, because we conform, we can obey the laws. But what makes people conform is when justice comes, when there is justice. So when there is no justice, people feel like nothing will get done, and then they can exhibit their craziness. We saw what happened January 6th last year in America, that even Oyibo people can go crazy. If there is no way to ensure justice is being served. As a child, one of my most traumatic experience was seeing somebody being burnt alive because he stole a bag. And they burnt with the bike. You know what we are doing? We are creating a society that takes laws into their hands, do not value human life. Somebody takes a phone, you put fire on someone's neck and burn the person alive. That is not a sign of someone that understands the value of human life. So we need to go back. What is breeding this level of rage rage and hate in our society.
Wickedness.
We need to go back and value human beings. We need to begin to treat ourselves as human beings. We need to care for each other so that we can start to walk back and dial back on this carnage that we see around us.
Because your initial thoughts also, I mean, I've heard from Tonka and BC, but your initial thoughts, because I would always go back to what I always said. Although Nima argues me, and I think she has a superior argument. But sometimes when you see things like this, you just feel as if due process is just too long sometimes. People like this kind of woman should not even go through any, for me, doesn't have to go through the four walls of the courts. This woman should be totally prosecuted and just totally blown off. That's my own thinking. But because you don't do this to a child, it's wickedness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, but the truth, we have to tell ourselves the truth, is that in Nigeria, we have a culture of violence and intimidation. It's the way we prove, it's the way we relate with each other. Even parents to children, colleagues at work, your police officers to the citizens, your politicians and your leaders to their people. That culture of, I am bigger than you, and so I can intimidate you. You will do exactly what I want of you to do, however I want of you to do it, and when you fall short or you don't do it, I will make sure, through violence and intimidation, make sure that you do it. And that is why I feel Nima's argument is still superior. Because to do what you're asking is to fall right within this culture of violence and intimidation. If she understood process, if she understood consequences, if she knew that there was the arm of the law at the end of this her action, she would take her time to bring up that child properly, correct him in love, correct him properly, so that she does not get in trouble and harm another child.
I get you.
So, I understand you, because there was a video one time that went viral of this radio man who they had brought to him someone who had maltreated a child. And his first instinct was to slap. You know what, even though it was wrong, there was a part of me that was happy he did that. Like, yes, because look at the face of this woman that did this. We could see the look on her face, like, what can you do? Yes, I've done it. What can you do?
See,
that child deserved what he got. It's what she was feeling.
I agree with you, and I'll always succumb to that argument, no doubt. But that doesn't mean that I will not say my own. But I mean that, because people like Lekwan Yu, at some point, we have to say, you know what? We have to have that heart of iron. So you know what? Some things you have to look the other way.
Speed up the process of justice.
Yes, we speed it up. If we speed it up, we won't even have enough prisons.
Yeah, that's
so there's a lot of factors.
No, there are different kinds of punishment. Yes. You don't have to put them in prison.
Yes. I want to bring in our guests.
Let's have farm some.
I want to bring in our guests.
Go to your cashew farm. Let us do some.
I want to bring in our guests, because our guest is a young person, and we've lamented since the beginning of the show. We've been lamenting police.
Lamentation Monday.
Lamentation Monday. So hopefully
we'll find solution.
This man can help us out, because we need leaders. We need people to get involved. 2023 is around the corner.
Yes,
we can't continue to complain about the problem. We need somebody who can direct us. So maybe we can have a conversation around what exactly is the way forward for this nation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, I mean, today, as I said, has been a day of lamentation. We're still going to talk about this woman who stabbed her help. I mean, it's a focus we're going to talk about another day, where we're going to bring in various stakeholders within this, because we have to be able to prosecute people who hurt underage people. In fact, hurt anybody. Yeah. But it's more pathetic when you have a child working in your house, an underage child. We really need to highlight this issue. And it was such a painful story. And I'd like you guys to wrap up on it before we go to to remind our viewers about our plans for the weekend. But this issue of the child that was stabbed by this woman is so pathetic. And I would like you to just round up saying a few words to women who find themselves in this situation. Yeah. And family members who have to give their children up as helps. What should they do to monitor these children in these places?
So, you know, we've said have the number of children that you can cater for, so that you don't have to start shipping them out if anything happens. And we know life can happen. You can lose everything you have. But if you have a limited number of children that you can run with, it's easier. Number two, you have no business getting an underaged child to be your house help. We need to stop it. We need to frown at this. This is not acceptable anymore. We have seen how it goes. Not everybody is patient enough to handle other people's children. We have seen that. You are struggling to handle your own. And now you have somebody who's not connected by blood, who you are not seeing as your blood. It's very difficult. So let's avoid it. When we see people who are having underage children, we should call them out as house helps. We are not taking this anymore as Nigerians. Right. Then secondly, I think everybody needs to start managing how they react when they are angry. Anger will come. But even the scripture says, let the sun not set on your anger. People will irritate you. It's natural. But can you calm down, close your eyes, sit still when you're angry, and take a deep breath for a few minutes before you react? Right. Maybe that way we can start avoiding some of these things.
Your final words on this?
I'll start by saying that we all have a responsibility. We can't control the fact that we will need help in Nigeria, but we have a responsibility to contain ourselves. We have a responsibility to respect ourselves and respect every human being we come in contact with. This lady is doing this to a minor that is 10-year-old. Some people do it to their security men. Yeah. Some people do it to even their own children. So I would say that corporal punishment is wrong. There is no justification for you to raise arms, ammunition, knife, mirror, bottle
biro
against any human being. We must find a way as human beings to relate with and discuss our disagreements and verbally express our anger and verbally explain ourselves to find a legitimate legal solution to every problem.
Okay.
Don't take arms into your hand. Right. If you catch a thief, don't throw tire on the thief's neck.
Yeah.
If somebody is stealing inside your house, don't say you want to do justice by yourself. Let's follow the system.
Right. Okay. Mariam, final words.
Yes, so they have both spoken very well. And for me is that many times we do this because we don't realize, we don't know any better. And I'm hoping that more people are listening now and learning that there's a different way to deal with stress, to deal with conflict. And for a woman who finds herself under taking care of kids, or relatives have brought children to her because they feel that she can give them some sort of help, I think please listen properly. When you feel any form of anger or you think you're being overwhelmed, take yourself out of that situation and calm down. There's nothing wrong with talking to someone who's younger, a child. They understand you and they get it better. I know we've been raised on this culture of you slap the child, you hit the child, you punish the child, but there's a different way to get the best out of children. There's a different way to get the best out of conflict. Conversations help. Teaching by example. You want your child to get up in the morning and clean the place. You get up in the morning, clean the place. Over a period of time, your child will do the same.
Yeah. So that's also, for me, let's just stop being judge and jury on issues. Domestic issues happen all the time. I mean, some of us, even aside from the underage, I know you've talked about underage, but even house helps still. Yeah. But you do a video, record them, their faces. These are things you report to the police. I mean, as much as you think it's a good thing that I'm recording this culprit, but the right thing is to report that child to the police, not put a video of the person. And then, I mean, for me, it's still that thing of infringing on people's rights. It's wrong, because this is a one-sided allegation. Yeah. So the child hasn't been to court. So please, let's stop it. All right, before we run off the show, we have to remind our friends and our fans about our Valentine's Day cruise, boat cruise this weekend. Would really like you to join us, ladies of your view, and I will be there this Saturday to celebrate Valentine's Day on Saturday. Please come in. I think couples, I think there's a phone number to call to get the details. Maybe tomorrow we'll have the full details. But it's an evening with the ladies of your view. We would love to see you. Tickets are selling out really fast. It's this Saturday we're meeting at I think in Ikoyi, at the Falamo dockyard. Yes. We're going to be there to aboard the boat and then have a fun time. There'll be lots of games, entertainment, dance, music, food,
karaoke. Yeah.
Good food.
I'll be dancing.
Karaoke. And we'll have some ladies of your view conversations, some really nice intimate. In fact, BC will make you host because those are those Valentine conversations. You're the one that can bring out all the Valentine.
I'm giving my life to Christ.
I think there are many people watching now.
I am holy.
Just use this opportunity to tell your spouse, that I know you would watch the show. I know a lot of men, they'll say, my wife likes the show. This is the time to show your wife that likes the show you love your wife.
Have you noticed that nobody ever admits they watch our show?
They say, my wife likes the show. My mommy likes the
my
show.
husband,
Bring your mommy to watch, to join us on Valentine's
very
Day.
few people say, I watch the show. They always tell you, is that my husband?
Yes.
You see the husband says, my wife. You see the father says, my wife.
So you guys really want Valentine conversation?
Yes.
I'm down for it.
Oh, yeah. So Bisi will be there, you know, to start up and elicit some conversation, you know, on Valentine matters, you know. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. You know, you're welcome with that.